Yo, listen, it's Platinum Max, part of the Acclaim, the Platinum Playboy, best wrestler alive, and you are rocking with the Bob Culture Podcast. Yo, listen, Platinum on the mic, and I'm coming for your ass. I'm listening to the Bob Culture Podcast, and I think it's the hottest show in the game, because them and everybody loves the Acclaim. Now, scissor me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're backstage here live in the Magic Kingdom ahead of Pro Wrestling Magic presents Doomsday with former one half of the Pro Wrestling Magic Tag Team Champions, former ECPW Heavyweight Champion, of course, Mr. John Tella. Thanks for a few minutes, John. Appreciate it.
No problem. We were also one half of the inaugural ACW Tag Team Champions.
Yes, ACW as well.
And he ruined everything. So.
Oh gosh, all right, we'll leave it.
There was a lot more coming.
We're already starting.
Yeah, there was a lot more coming.
Yeah, so tag teams. You have a lot of history with tag teams, but I have to ask you this. Ahead of this event, Doomsday, I'm just going to get into it, man. I hate to dive right into it, but the history between you and Bruno here at Magic has been, historic. You guys have run through pretty much every amazing tag team, top-tier tag team here in the Northeast. They were throwing the same guys at you. They were throwing different combinations of the same guys at you. Handicap matches. You guys are seemingly unstoppable. And now I see Bruno walking around, and we saw him hit you with that belt inside that cage, and just everything changed. He's walking around like a loose cannon. You cost him his match. Just tell me about this roller coaster you guys have been on. You were so close. What happened? What changed, John?
Well, what it is that he's selfish. First and foremost, that's what it is. For at least a year leading up to the actual demise of Death Row, all he did was continuously talk about not getting a shot for the heavyweight title. I want my heavyweight title. I want my heavyweight title. Now, I'm not selfish. I'm like, go for it, whatever. But like a normal person would have been like, but like we're on a roll right now doing our own thing. Like that kind of throws a monkey wrench in, but I was letting it slide. And I was letting things go the way they were going to go.
It was getting tense.
And obviously the Rumble happened. And, I feel he played his hand very early. And I didn't want to be the asshole to go like, what are you trying to pull right now? I think Alex Ryman jumping in was a happy accident for him.
Saw that unfold, yeah.
Because realistically, I had that match won. I had him rolling. He was going to be eliminated. That was going to be all mine. It was a happy accident for Lou, and I think he couldn't stomach the fact that I had my chance for the first time ever here. I mean, I've been in this company now for since 2017, 2018. I don't even remember now. But like I've been here for a long time, and I was a role player for a long time, and I did what was asked of me, and I did the right thing, and I never complained, and I tried to bring what I could to the company, and and he just couldn't help himself. He had his moment, he broke his shoulder in his title run, ironically in a match with me. But it's not my fault that he was made out of sticks. He was frail.
Is this one of those things where maybe cooler heads could prevail? Sometimes brothers fight.
No, it's too far gone. Look, we have there's been a lot of history, right? Okay. So before the people that don't understand, before Death Row, we were consistently killing each other for years at that point, and then I got fired or let go for a little bit, depending on who you talk to after the whole Evan Myers incident, okay. And I saw Lou in a bad spot, and we talked, and we kind of put things behind us.
Wow.
And that's when I returned at the Rumble that year, and then Death Row was born. So for the most part, everything was my creation. The name, the music, what we've done in the ring, everything was 100% me. He was just along for the ride. So his best success at his company up to this point was solely because of me.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got started in Magic, how you got started with wrestling and involved with this company and everything leading up to that.
So I got a call. I did another show at a different company in I think New York or Connecticut a couple of days before. And then we did the match, and Trey Felipe's showing his ass right now.
Usually. The fresh league, yeah.
Nice ass.
Very fresh. Fresh as always.
So I had a match against Junior Flow, and it was a really good match. And then it was my debut for that company, and the referee at the time was Master Gigante. You remember him?
Rings a bell. Name rings a bell.
Yeah, good guy, great guy. And Kill the Magic, ironically, was going to use Lou as their heavy.
Oh, okay.
And as their bodyguard type. He didn't make a debut yet, so he wasn't even here. And then he couldn't make it for whatever reason. And then I got the call because that referee was also reffing here. And he's like, you need a big guy. I just watched a big guy kill it last night or whatever it was. And then he said it to Bradley at the time, Aaron Bradley, or Alex Ryman.
Yep.
I still call him Bradley. I refuse to learn his new stupid name.
All right.
And then, because I met him as Alex, then he went to Bradley, and now he's back to Alex, and I just refuse to keep switching it up. It's Bradley to me. Bradley called me, and then he was like, are you interested? We can use you right now. So I just showed up, and then it's been history ever since. We beat up the Down Boys, Steve Gipke and Tony Facita.
Sure, Gipke. Yeah, wow.
And then,
going back.
Yeah, man. And then it just went into Kill the Magic, and then that whole run, and then I kind of branched off. And then within that, my first major singles rivalry was against Lou.
Yeah. Wow.
And then that was, and then we had the fans bring the weapons match, and that's the one match everyone constantly touts about and goes, that was a crazy match, that was amazing, whatever. And it was only so good because we both needed to shine. If I was in there with somebody that was already here that didn't give a shit, then it wouldn't matter. Like, that match would have been whatever. But because we were both so hungry for it, that it kind of overshot anyone's expectations.
You guys were so great together, man. And I always psychoanalyze, man. And I hate to get deep, but whatever you're comfortable with sharing, man, I think I would have said you guys were brothers for sure. That's just my outsider looking in, man. But where does this rank to you, man? Like, losing a brother like that. Like, I know you're being tough, and I know you want revenge, and you're out for blood, man. And he's walking around here not treating everyone very well and like a loose cannon, man. But you know, you lost a brother. I lost my best friend not too long ago, man. You know, I've been divorced, man. I've lost family, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very hard, man. How do you keep a calm head? How do you stay level? How are you dealing with this outside of a wrestling ring? How are you dealing with this psychologically?
It's funny because for years before, like, we had our run fighting and killing each other as singles, he came to ECPW, trained there to get started in the business. He did credit me as well as Trey Felipe, like, helping him get started and everything. Mm-hmm. And all that time he kept telling me, he's like, we're going to team one day. We're going to team one day. And I just thought, like, it was just some guy that won't last at all. I'm like, yeah, I'm not teaming with anybody. Yeah, because I was like, I've seen a lot of those big guys come and go, and then they come in for 3 weeks, and then it's too much for them, and then they bail out. And I just thought he was going to be one of those guys. And also I was like, I want to prove myself as a singles. I don't want to be in a team. I don't want to rely on anybody else, and I had no expectation to. And then, you know, as the cards fell the way they did with Evan and everything else, I was like, all right, here's an opportunity, because clearly they had no plans for me here anymore after what happened, but they called me to come back because they wanted to make things right.
That's awesome.
And I was like, all right, so let's see where this team goes. And, you know, it worked out. But yeah, it sucks. It's I did look at him as a brother, but also my gut was telling me for months prior that shit was going to hit the fan. I should have realized it. I should have trusted myself, because normally I don't go against what my gut says. And I knew it was going to happen, and sure enough, it happened the way exactly how I thought it was going to happen.
All right. Well, what is, putting all these pieces together, what is the ultimate goal for you? Is it revenge? Is it to end Bruno and what he's doing here in Pro Wrestling Magic? Because you guys were both so close to that championship that Alex holds right now, that you could touch it, that you could taste it. You were so close, man. How do you separate those goals? What are the short-term goals? What are the long-term goals? You got to handle your business with Bruno first.
I hold such a grudge, not just for him, for anybody. If you do me wrong, I'm going to hold a grudge on you forever. And, you know, people go, you know, don't let it get in your head, and, you know, let it move on from it. Don't let it drive you crazy. I can't. I'm not that kind of guy, and I'll heal in hell. I need to get my revenge of what I'm going to do. And, you know, and it's anybody, like, you know, personal, whoever, even if someone I'm not in a ring with, if there's some things were said, which they were, I would have no problem going outside and throwing hands right now. So I need to get what I need to get, and which is my sanity back and my revenge on Lou. I don't care right now about the title. That title will be waiting for me when I decide to go for it. But Lou is the number one priority. And until I get that, until I'm satisfied with what I do and getting my revenge back, I'm not letting shit go.
Fair enough, man. I kind of get it, to be fair, man.
I mean, look, man, look back at all the matches we had, right? As singles. The fans bring the weapons, the last man standing. You want to? I'll explain to you how far my grudge holding goes.
Please.
Now, October 13th, 2018 was, I believe it was a last man standing match, right?
Okay.
And at the time, Mike Donovan was the champion, who also happened to live in Bayonne, where I lived, right? So, about to come to the show, I have to go and see Mike to pick up the belt because he got a little boo-boo and he couldn't retain or continue the title, right?
Oh, boy.
Now, right before that, 2 hours before coming here, I get a call.
Okay.
And it's my cousin, and it's my father lived 8 houses away from me. We weren't speaking. He had his addictions, and I overestimated my tough love, thinking that was going to change anything, and it didn't. And as I was driving up the block, as I was approaching his house, my cousin's on the phone with me, and he goes, "I don't know how to tell you this." And as he's saying that, I see the ambulance, the cops, and my dad's sisters. So then I go, "Oh, okay, I know what this is. I'll call you back." And I get out of the car, and I go in, and I find my dad's dead body.
You knew?
Oh, yeah, right away. There wasn't I was expecting, I had a feeling it was coming for a few months leading up to it, and, unfortunately, my gut's always right. Just like seeing Lou. So then what happens is, I deal with that. I deal with his shitty sisters had no business doing the things that they did, and I had to handle that as an only child. I don't have a sibling. I was the only mistake made, so therefore I had to carry the weight of everything. And meanwhile, I'm staring at my dead dad and knowing that the fucking problems and headaches that I'm going to have to deal with dealing with that, I realize now I have to go and pick up this title for the company and then come here and have a crazy match like a last man standing after we practically killed each other and the fans were in the weapons match. So what do? Like a normal, healthy person dealing with their emotions, I come to a wrestling match. Because what am I going to do? Sit home and let that, ruin my night? At least give me 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes alone and not be in my fucking head about it. But like that's how dedicated I was to wrestling and doing what I need to do and being there where I give my word as a booking and everything else. This is what I do. This is where I'm going to be. Basically, showed up and I wasn't in the right headspace and I lost.
How do you work like that? How do you perform, wrestle?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I really don't. I don't know. It's just something that clicked and it's like, all right, this is my job right now. I'll deal with this tomorrow, and that's what I try to do. Unfortunately, I still lost, probably because my head wasn't in the right place. But goddamn Shane Fair, you are one sexy woman.
Always.
I just want
breaking the tension.
Can you come here real quick, just so I can have you on camera, so people don't think I'm just looking at you normally. So this is Shane Fair today.
Fairest one of all.
I'm his practice bride.
Oh God! Oh no!
I'm sorry. I show up and everything goes wrong.
What a hot piece of ass I got on my lap
I'm
right
Sean's
now.
practice bride. Now my stockings don't fit.
Breaking the tension for the fairest one of all, Shane Fair.
I love Shane Fair.
We love Shane. We don't deserve. The Indies do not deserve. The Indies do not deserve Shane Fair. John, thank you for sharing all that. Man.
Yeah, no, look, man, it's my life. I'm an open book. I don't go out of my way to talk about it, but in a situation like this where it's a part of my story and a part of the history I have with Lou, I'll bring it up. But hopefully no one dies this time and I can actually focus on getting the job done.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about something a little like Shane breaking the tension over here. I also wanted to talk to you about some outside the ring stuff, and you handle what you got to do with Bruno. We'll leave it at that, man. And thank you for sharing what you shared. I love, and I've talked to you many times here at Magic, big dog person, what you do for some of these animals, for these dogs, man. I remember you telling me a story, I think it was along the lines of it. You had lost one of yours. You went right to the shelter. I think you said, hey, tell us how, and the next one they're putting down.
So I got my first dog when I was 5, and he made it 11 years, and he was born in a junkyard, and we got him so young that he didn't know how to be a dog, and we had cats, and then he was trying to be a cat, like he was trying to go on like the litter box and shit, like he had no idea because that's just what he was learning. And he died. He had a tumor on his spleen, and the tumor erupted.
It's always.
And then they rushed into an emergency hospital, and then they gave him like blood transfusions, and it didn't work, and then he died.
Oh gosh.
And it was killing us. And me and my grandfather went to the Liberty Humane Society in Jersey City. If you're in the Hudson County area, I don't know if it's Liberty Humane Society anymore, but I think they opened it back up. And we went in there and we said, give us the next dog you're putting down. We don't just give us the next dog you're putting down. And thank God we did, because it was the greatest dog I've ever had in my life. I love her to death. She was the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life growing up. And so I had her for another, say, 11 years. And then she had lymphoma. And the cancer spread probably to either her legs or her brain, because I woke up in the middle of the night and her back legs just stopped working.
Oh gosh, it's the worst.
And it was fucking brutal, and it was the worst pain I've ever been through. And we had to put her down, and it was the most brutal thing ever.
Sorry.
And then I waited a few months. That time I couldn't do the next day thing. I couldn't do it.
And good on you for doing that.
And And then we went to my fiance now at the time, which is my girlfriend.
By the way,
Thank
bro.
you. Someone could deal with me, you know.
Yeah, hey, God bless her, man.
She deserves it. So then she found this dog that was born during Hurricane Harvey, I think, in Texas.
Okay.
And they shipped it from Harvey to another kill shelter in Louisiana to a kill shelter in Jersey, and then another rescue grabbed her, and she was only 1 year old, and she's the sweetest dog in the world. She's a little crazy though. It's a lot crazier than my little dog.
Yeah.
And then so we rescued her.
I love that.
Yeah.
And recently, it's not just that, like those things that you do, man. I know there's a soft spot in your heart. Yes, it's there. For
the animals.
For the animal, I get it. Though.
They won't do it. They'll never do you wrong.
Undying, unconditional love, undying loyalty, man. We were champs to rescue. They found him in a box in North Carolina. Even though he's a puppy, he is our whole world.
Your whole life changes.
Yeah, we have the puppy cam. We have like all the things. Like I have anxiety.
Like me and Ash are getting married next month, and we're desperately trying to figure out how to have somebody stay with the dog because everyone we would trust will be at the weading.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So now we're like, fuck, I don't know.
Put the dog in the wedding?
No, she'll be too crazy.
Too crazy?
She'll be too crazy.
I got fair enough.
She's nuts, bro. She had 2 ACL surgeries. She hasn't slowed down at all.
Yeah, you told me.
She hasn't slowed down at all. And for those that don't have it, if you have pets, get pet insurance. It's the best thing ever. Oh gosh. My dog's got $10,000 knees, and I didn't have it for the first one. So I had to pay $5,000 out of pocket for the fucking ACL.
Dog's in better shape than you are right now.
Yeah, my left kneecap's not even fully attached, and she's walking around with 2 brand new ACLs.
That's how I get it, though. Let me ask you this, Tell, before we wrap up. Recently on Facebook, I saw that you, and this is amazing, you found a dog. What was it, on the side of the road, abandoned, whatever?
I was in East Orange. If anyone's familiar with the area, it's not the greatest area.
No.
It was 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was driving, and this dog with no collar or nothing on, but he had a blue harness, and he just turns the corner, and he's just going. He's a big boy, but he's clearly malnourished. He's skin and bones. And I was, those in East, if anyone's familiar, East Orange, they have like little bridges above the Garden State Parkway, so you can't stop there. I had to then park 2 blocks away and haul ass to this dog, while people are just walking by like he doesn't exist. And I'm running, and one guy goes, "Yo, be careful! There's a dog there." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. That's where I'm going."
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
So I take a knee in front of this dog, not knowing if he's aggressive, not knowing anything, just giving it a shot. If I got bit in the face, so be it. And I walk over and I take a knee and I go, "Hey, pal," and he just walks right over and kisses me in the face.
He knew. He
knew right away. I saved him. So then I grabbed this harness and I walked him back to the car. I threw him back in the car, and then I proceeded to take him home, and my dog doesn't get along with other dogs. Yeah. So I brought him to my vet, and my vet had a rescue called Brick City Rescue. If anyone's looking for any pit bulls or anything, they deal with mostly pits. Yeah. They're a great rescue. They take care of everything. They just got him fixed. They got him a foster to hold him. The foster is only supposed to be an emergency foster, and then they said, all right, we'll just hold him till they adopt. So they already failed the first step, so I'm hoping they fail the foster and they just keep him. Because he's the greatest. He's the greatest dog, and he's so sweet. I wish I could have kept him. His name is Toby. They named him Toby. So if anyone is interested, please look at Brick City Rescue on Instagram. Look up Toby and send in application forms to adopt him, because that dog is the sweetest dog in the world, and he really deserves the home and love that he's dying for.
Please, and it'll change your life. It'll change 100%. Your life. Been a dog person my whole life. There's nothing like it. I know sometimes pits get a bad rap. It's not true.
It's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit.
True.
It's like your shitty kids. If you're a shitty parent, and your kid's a fucking asshole, it's your fault. I mean, it's no different than a dog, Yeah,
it's all up to the owners. But
yeah.
John, thank you for a few minutes. Thanks for opening up, man.
Appreciate
you. Take care, man.
Thank you, brother.
BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks Podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here, and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. welcome back our sponsor, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank León, Oneil Andrews, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite podcast sponsors, Key Nation, featuring our very own BCP and BCP Plus contributor, Mr. Wayne Keener. Make sure to follow Key Nation on TikTok and Instagram for great puns, memes, dad jokes, and random ridiculous content. Thank you, Wayne, for sponsoring the BCP. Don't forget to check out one of our newest sponsors here on the BCP, Chop City Wrestling. Chop City Wrestling is where our pal Ryan Steniford takes chops from wrestlers and donates $20 to Connor's Cure for every chop he takes. Follow his adventures on his YouTube channel for all those chops and some great pro wrestling content, all for a good cause. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you, Ryan, for sponsoring the BCP. Please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, From the Left Side. From the Left Side has all of your wrestling and sports news. Check out From the Left Side at facebook.com/From the Left Side with On Air E, and be sure to hit that follow button. Thank you, From the Left Side. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Conor McCallum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure, with over 150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW wrestling pics and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at Jay Vogel on Facebook, and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands, so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. And don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsors, ISPW Weekly, where we dive deep into the world of ISPW, the crossroads of professional wrestling. Join Jumpin' Jay and Toto with Tom every week as they interview the stars of the ring, uncover their stories, rivalries, and the electrifying action that defines ISPW. Be sure to check out ISPW Weekly on the ISPW Facebook page every week. Please welcome in our new pod and daily site sponsor, Twisted Shamrock Studios and Spa, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Twisted Shamrock is a retro spa experience for the average Joe and Jane. Meet the next evolution of recovery and relaxation.
Right now, you can try their introductory offer where you can try a core service to include massage, skincare, facial, stretch therapy, body slimming, toning, personal training, and spray tanning for 30 minutes for just $30. This is perfect for our wrestling pals as well. Book today. Call 484-574-8868 or visit www.twistedshamrockstudiospa.com. Guys, please welcome back our podcast sponsor, Wrestling Games, live signings, and more ahead of their inaugural signing September 1st in partnership with Revolution Wrestling Federation, featuring Buff Bagwell, Gary Wolf, Renee Michelle, and L.A. Spoon. Pricing includes shout-outs from all the wrestlers. Havoc Monsters Ball Deal, $125 gets you one 8x10 each by all 4 announced talent and any indie wrestler that shows up on the live. There'll be at least 2 to 4. $20 each, additional 8x10 individual photos only. First photo, 25 shipped for first. Each additional 20 includes a top loader for each photo. Any mail-ins are $30 for each item, 25 each additional. More items to be posted later. Feel free to message Emil Menard for any questions or purchases. Guys, I want to shout out John Blaine's Around the Ropes podcast for sponsoring the BCP. Around the Ropes podcast is your weekly live compressive coverage of all things pro wrestling, from indies to the main event of WrestleMania. Join John as he talks to some of the biggest names on the indies. Search Around the Ropes podcast on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and subscribe on YouTube by searching for Around the Ropes. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, Inside Heat Sports and Collectibles, LLC, ahead of their Hamburg Sports and Hobby Show featuring special guest Penn State and number 2 overall draft NFL pick, New York Jets player Blair Thomas, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Hamburg, New Jersey. Blair will be signing from 11 to 1, and on-site vendors will have sports cards, TCG, memorabilia, and more. Contact Pete at InsideHeatSports@gmail.com for more info. Thank you, Inside Heat, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, please welcome in our returning pod sponsor, Warriors of Wrestling, ahead of their next event, October 5th in Staten Island, New York, featuring AEW star Khan, New Warriors champion Danny Moff, Women's champ Angel Metro, TJ Marconi, Darius Carter, Chris Steeler, Roger Mendez, Mike DiTello, The Boss Joe Bellini, and more. Get your tickets now and follow Warriors of Wrestling on YouTube. Guys, please welcome back our returning pod sponsor, Bree Combination Wrestling. Bree Combination Wrestling presents Nightmare at the Mecca, Sunday, October 20th at the Mecca, 106 Bergen Ave, Richfield Park, New Jersey, featuring BCW Women's Champion Vicious Vicky, BCW Heavyweight Champion Darius Carter, the Allfather, Anthony Gangone, Jay Bougie, and more. Get your tickets now and be sure to follow BCW on YouTube and Title Match Network.